Have you been checking your bank account and you're wondering why you still haven't received the stimulus money? Even if you've been filing your taxes and you meet the income requirement, are you eligible to receive the stimulus money based on your immigration status? Does receiving and accepting the stimulus money make you a public charge according to USCIS? If you want the answers to these questions and more, please keep watching this video. Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. My name is Stephanie D'Angelo and I am the founder of D'Angelo Law PLLC. I upload videos every week, so make sure you are subscribed. Turn your post notifications on by hitting that bell button. That way you are notified every time I upload a new video so you can stay up to date with immigration hot topics, current events, and new trends. Today's topic is about whether immigrants and non-immigrants are eligible to receive the stimulus money, and if so, whether receiving and accepting the stimulus money would make them a public charge. I made a previous video about the USCIS Public Charge Rule and the implications on the public charge inadmissibility determination based on COVID-19. So if you want to check that video out, I will link it right here, and I will also put it in the description below. As many of you know, the US government has created the CARES Act to provide $2 trillion worth of economic relief to US taxpayers. Now you're probably wondering why you haven't received this money yet. Here are the reasons why you may or may not be eligible to receive the stimulus check. Let's talk about eligibility. Eligibility is based largely on income, but even if you did make more than $75,000 as adjusted gross income, you should still be receiving some money. For example, if you made $80,000 and you are single, no children, no dependents, you should be expecting about $950 in stimulus money. There are a bunch of calculators online, so you can go online, find a calculator estimator, and it will tell you what you can expect to receive. What are the three things that you need in order to be eligible to receive the stimulus check? 1, you need to have a valid social security number. 2, you must have either filed your 2018 or 2019 tax return. And 3, the IRS needs your bank information on file. In order to receive the stimulus check from the IRS, you must meet certain adjusted gross income thresholds, whether you're filing independently or jointly, and you can't be claimed as a dependent on someone else's tax return. Next, does your immigration status affect your eligibility to receive the stimulus money? The short answer is yes. We know that US citizens and permanent residents are eligible to receive the stimulus money, but what about those that are in a different category or a different status? If you are considered a tax resident for tax purposes, then you would be eligible as well. What does that mean? If you are a non-immigrant and you are here under H-1B, L1, O1, E2, TN, just to name a few, if you are lawfully working and you're considered a tax resident for tax purposes based on the substantial physical presence test, then you would be considered a tax resident and therefore eligible to receive the stimulus money. Also, DACA recipients with valid work authorization, work permits are eligible. I mentioned previously that in order to be eligible to receive the stimulus money, you need to have a valid social security number. That also applies to everyone in the household. Mixed households will not be entitled to receive the stimulus money. What does that mean? If you are a US citizen with a valid social security number, but yet your spouse or child or anyone you list as a dependent on your tax return does not have a valid social security number, maybe they only have an I-10 or they're undocumented, then you as the US citizen will not receive the stimulus money. So even if one person in that household does not have a valid social security number, then the entire house will not receive the stimulus money. So let's talk about the public charge determination with respect to receiving the stimulus money from the IRS. As I mentioned previously, I did make another video regarding the USCIS Public Charge Rule and the implications from COVID-19. Once again, I'll link it right here as well as in the description below. Specifically for the stimulus check money, a huge question is whether receiving it and accepting the stimulus money would make you a public charge. Should immigrants, non-immigrants, those that are going to be applying for green cards in the future, adjustment of status, or even extension of their current status, whether they should set aside the money, return it to the IRS. What should they do? Because they don't want to affect their green card applications in the future. In response to COVID-19, USCIS did publish an update regarding the public charge rule. The rule requires USCIS to consider the receipt of certain cash and non-cash public benefits, including those that may be used to obtain testing or treatment for COVID-19 in a public charge inadmissibility determination, and for purposes of a public benefit condition applicable to certain non-immigrants seeking an extension of stay or change of status. In their rule, USCIS did mention that receiving cash benefits for income maintenance does consider you a public charge. Does the stimulus money count as a cash benefit for income maintenance? The answer is no. The reason being is the stimulus money is considered a tax credit. It is not considered supplemental income, so will not be considered as a factor in the public charge inadmissibility determination. It won't be taxed as income, and it won't be offset by any back taxes owed. It also won't affect any refund payments for 2019. So if you were expected to get a certain tax refund, but now you got the stimulus check that is not deducted from your tax refund, this is an additional tax credit. So that's great news. If you were worried as an immigrant or non-immigrant here in a temporary visa and you were worried about receiving the stimulus money, rest assured it will not be considered in the public charge inadmissibility determination. So you're fine. You don't need to set aside, you don't need to give it back. You can use that money. Many people have already been receiving their stimulus money, and if you haven't and you want to check the status of your stimulus money, or you want to update your banking information with IRS, I'm going to show you how. The IRS created an online tool called Get My Payment. It's available on their website, and it went live on Wednesday, April 15th, and you can use this tool to check the status of your payment. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. The first thing you want to do is go to the IRS's website. Here on their homepage, you have on the left, Get Coronavirus Tax Relief. On the right, you have Get My Payment. That's the actual tool, but for the purpose of this video, let's just go to the tax relief page. Here you can check your payment status. They're saying do not call, use the tool, so check your payment status. We'll click on that. Click on Get My Payment. What it's saying is that you will need your 2019 return if you've already filed, or your 2018. Click on Get My Payment. Okay, so in order to get your payment, you need to put in your social security number, your date of birth, street address, and zip postal code. Notice how it says ITIN. Don't be confused by that. This page is just to pull up your information and see if you are eligible. So I'm gonna go ahead and input my social security number, date of birth, street address off screen, and then we'll come back to see what's next. Okay, on this screen, it's saying that you are eligible for this payment. We do not have enough information to direct deposit your payment at this time. They need my bank account information. So if you see that, this is a screen that would come up. You would enter your adjusted gross income. Your adjusted gross income can be found on line 8B from your 2019 tax return, or line 7 from your 2018 tax return. You have to input that information here. If you scroll down, it asks if you received a refund or did you owe money, whether it's 2018 or 2019, whichever tax year you are using. You're answering these questions. And then you can also input your direct deposit information as well. Once you hit submit, your information is updated, and it'll also tell you how much you can expect to receive, things like that. Now I'm going to input my information and let's see what comes up. After inputting my tax return information and my bank account information, the website says, the information you have entered does not match our records. Please try again. If you used information from your 2019 tax return, the return may not have been processed yet. Please enter information from your 2018 tax return instead and try again. I entered my 2019 tax return information. I actually filed it like a month and a half ago. I filed it a while ago. I think I filed it early March, late February. I don't really remember. So it's been filed a while. So I do own my own business, and I did owe money. I didn't receive a refund because I'm not an employee. I did not receive a W-2 last year. So maybe that's why it hasn't been processed. So if you're in the same boat, just be aware that that might happen. But if you haven't done your 2019 or you did it recently and it's not processed, then go ahead and enter your 2018. I do know that obviously certain years you might make less or have made less, or your 2019 you made less, so you want to use that. Be aware that that might be a potential issue. That's all for today's topic. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any requests for future videos, please go ahead and leave them in the comments. I upload videos every week, so make sure you're subscribed. You turn your post notifications on by hitting that bell button. That way you are notified every time I make a new video and you can stay up to date. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.